And then I gotta go stream on Facebook. All right, all right. So we are live. Just give me a couple seconds. You guys know I have to do some stuff so Sterling can share to his page. So let me go to my Facebook on here.
Oh,
And let me go to our live. Come on, come on. You guys tune in, especially you rural real estate agents. Look, I want to see I want to see all y'all up in these comments, okay? Johnny, Pretty, everybody.
oh,
Edit audience,
geez.
edit audience, public. So, Sterling, you actually, you know what I could do? You know, I found it so much easier. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to share, and then
And they all know me, so
I'm going
they're
to
probably
tag
not
you.
on. Yeah.
A lot, I saw a lot of them like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sterling Royal. Okay. Okay, that should be sharing to your page right now. And
Okay.
it's live on my page. Let's see. Let me
Oh,
go.
that's fun. Look at you all techie,
I learned a lot since the days, huh?
right? I,
You guys, I'm so excited. I look, me and this dude, we've been look, we gonna make y'all laugh. You know, this is my dude right here, my white chocolate, okay? That's the white chocolate right here, okay? So you guys tune in. Like I said, I want to see every real estate agent tuning in right now on this interview. Let me just make sure. Let me get all set up on my phone.
all
Okay,
right.
yes, yeah, sharing live on your page right now. And come on, so I can see these comments coming in. Um, let's see, top two. How come it's not? Okay, wait a minute. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, let me go back. Where's my live? Okay, my Wi-Fi is still going. I know I'm on my Wi-Fi on my phone. Let me see. Let me go out of Facebook. Let me see. Let me go back in. Let me go to my page. Okay, we're okay. And then let me go here. All right. Okay. All right. So you guys, I have.
Good.
Oh, I see. Okay. Hey, Betty Walton. What boy, you jumping on here early, ain't you, Miss Walton? Um, you guys, I had the pleasure of meeting this wonderful man a few years ago. Now, the story, how it
A
went,
few. I think it was like 13.
was a few. That's still a few, 13. Y'all, I told you. So, Comstock used to have rib cook-offs, right? So, and I used to go, rest in peace, Monty Maxwell.
Bonnie Maxwell.
Yes. And and I remember, about a agent named Sterling. So when I was at the rib cook-off and I got introduced to Sterling Roll. And the first thing I think I said to him was like, I thought you were black.
Yeah, I'm the white Sterling.
Yeah, so he was, yes, I had him mixed up with the other Sterling. So, but all the
Yeah,
time I thought he was
but I get
but
I get that all the time.
I bet. But he really is a brother, though. Look, he really is. Those that know Sterling knows he really, really is. I
Yeah.
just want to say thank you for taking the time out to do this interview. It's much well deserved, for people to know, things about you they may not have known. So tell us, what was Sterling like from kindergarten to sixth grade?
Well, kindergarten and first grade, I wore hush puppies, and my mom made me wear button up shirts. a little tie. I went to St. Peter Martyr, so I also had, I had the white Catholic school shirt with the navy blue cords. Um, but as I got older, I became a little bit wilder, and so that kind of wore off. And but I was kind of a wild child. I think I was until I was 45 and I met my wife.
That is true. That is true. That is true. Um, so okay, so for kindergarten, sixth grade, so junior high, is that when the wildness started, or?
Yeah, probably sixth grade, sixth, seventh. I started in athletics. I was playing basketball, playing baseball, and just having friends. And yeah, I started to really get out there. But from preschool till about fifth grade, I was pretty mild.
Oh wow, okay. So in junior high, you play like basketball and stuff, right? You said?
Basketball, baseball. Yep.
Now, what did you was that in Sacramento or where was that at?
No, I grew up in the East Bay. I went to school in Pittsburgh. I lived in Antioch,
Mhm.
and 21 years till I went to college. So I went to, in actuality, what happened was I flunked kindergarten. Um, so my mom switched schools. She says my son's not gonna to stay back, which I should have. But so she switched me to St. Peter Martyr in Pittsburgh so I could go into first grade there. And I went 8 years at St. Peter Martyr in Pittsburgh, and then I applied to De La Salle, and I got accepted to De La Salle. So my high school years were in Concord, so there was a lot of commuting with different friends and friends' older sisters that had their license,
Oh,
and then after high school, I went a few years at Diablo Valley College, Los Madonnas College, and then finally transferred to Sac State. That's how I ended up in Sacramento.
oh wow. See, now what was your major at Sac State?
There were about five.
Oh Lord.
And then finally I'm like, I just got to get out of this. It took me about 7 years to get a 4-year degree, but it was communication studies. So I literally entered Sacramento State psychology major, switched to liberal studies, business, and then, like I mentioned, and I said, I just need the degree. And so I transferred to communication studies, got my degree, and graduated in 1993.
Oh wow, wow. Now, what was your first job?
My first job was a company called Knight Rider, and like it's
Like the,
similar to the car, but
yeah.
it was actually what they call litigation support for attorneys. So we sold copy work to attorneys, and it was big business. Our office was 400 or 500 Capitol Mall, where Il Fornaio is, the Wells Fargo
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
So I thought I was something, graduated college. I was a customer service rep, but I was wearing the tie. I was on the 14th floor. America Live was across the way at the downtown plaza. So
Wow.
they had all those clubs down there.
Yeah. Oh my, oh, you love that.
So I did. So,
So
so
was
I
that your
had the
first
key.
job? So you didn't have a job like in junior high or high school?
Oh, I thought you meant my first job out of college. No, I worked for McDonald's for about a week. I worked for Domino's Pizza as a driver earlier. I did uh, insulation install when I was in high school.
Okay.
So I had a bunch of those type of jobs. I washed cars because my grandfather owned Regito Motors down
Mm,
in Antioch, so I
mm.
used to wash those cars,
Oh,
things of
okay.
that nature. Yeah,
Oh, oh wow. Okay. Now, what got you into real estate?
that's interesting. Most people think it was the direct correlation with my mom because Alita, you know my mom very well.
Yes.
She's the managing broker for Better Homes and Gardens in the Bay Area, formerly Prudential California Realty. She's been doing it 39
Yeah.
years, and
Shout
so
out to
I work.
Melody. Yeah,
Yeah, so
y'all gotta meet Melody and Teresa. Man, they are the I don't even want to call them the Golden Girls because I think they step up above it. You know, they fly. They are fly to this day.
they do. They have so much fun, and but that's kind of how I wanted to mirror my company because my mom, she was just all of her agents are all her friends, and she loves them. She does things with them. But getting back to the question, I did do open houses when I was in high school. I couldn't talk about real estate. We know the rules, but I could hand them a flyer because my mom was busy. She was doing her thing. And so she sent her son to do some open houses. Um, I did those things, but, I had my first son, Hunter, when the month after I graduated. And I said, I need a real job. I can't go into real estate. So it was something I didn't look into. And it was years later, I had several not several, but I had a few different outside sales positions, which for me, it grew my sales skills. I was then selling pharmaceutical sales, and you know this gentleman, Ted Capel. He
No, I don't
said,
know him.
You don't know him. He
Mhm.
said, Sterling, what are you doing? He says, Your mom's in the Bay Area. And back then, homes in Sacramento were only 150, 175,000. So anyone from the Bay Area, they would refer to Sacramento. Now homes are 500. They're coming up to Sacramento, right? And so he says, You need to get your real estate license. And, my mom always, I watched her. She never you pushed me into real estate. It was always there for me to learn from her. And I said, you know what? I'll do it part time. So I got my license and I was a full time pharmaceuticals rep. And they say a part time realtor, but I literally did two full time jobs. And I did real well for 2 years. And top producer in our Fair Oaks Prudential branch. And after 2 years, I said, you know what? I need to do this full time. And I've never looked back since. Although there's been some big up and downs, but for the most part, it's been the best industry I can imagine.
So it wasn't Melody, it was Ted. Is that what you said?
It was both,
Okay,
but the one that said, "What are you doing?
it's
You got
Ted.
your mom in the Bay Area," was Ted Capel.
And why can I hear him saying that right now? I can hear his voice and
Yeah.
everything. He's saying it.
Yeah, ultimately, if mom wasn't in the business, I would have never been in the business.
So how old were you when she got started in real estate?
Gosh, I think I was in eighth grade, maybe
Okay.
seventh grade.
Okay.
And she was. I had I had stepdads, but for the most part, mom, I was a single child, and I was raised by just a hardworking single mom. I mean, like I said, I had stepdads, yeah, a couple. I don't want to
Yeah.
sound like mom had all kinds of husbands,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, but for the most part, I had one, two, three stepdads. One, Vince Rivera, that was there a large portion of my time. But my mom, she did it on her own. She owned Melody's Dance Studio for the first, you know, 14 years of my life, and then she got into real estate, and she killed it. She did well, and she became a manager, and that's pretty much how I took the path into management because I looked at how my mom was in her office, and I looked how her agents respected her, loved working for her, and I wanted to do the same.
Wow. So the first real estate company you was with was it Prudential?
Prudential California Realty, Pam Petterly was my broker. It was on Fair Oaks Boulevard, right next to Loman's Plaza.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I was there. I was there. Oh, maybe 2.5 years. And then there was a gal named Brenda, and they opened the Natomas branch.
With Troy,
And
right?
What's that?
Was Troy, right?
Was Troy was later. No, Brenda
Oh.
was, yeah, and actually Rich and Tina
Mhm.
were the owners of that branch as
Mm.
well as the downtown. But Brenda was the manager. I was going through a year program at St. Mary's. It was a leadership program
Mm.
uh, at university at St. Mary's University in Moraga,
Mm.
and it was all Prudential. And she had just asked me, "Hey, will you be my sales manager?" Because she needed some help. And so, really, I didn't even interview through Prudential. She kind of just brought me in, and
Ah.
that's really how I got started. It kind of slipped in without interviewing any of the higher ups. They just got me in, and she quit, and I took over.
Oh, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. That's kind of like what happened with Richard Brilliantis, just threw me in as assistant manager when he called Banker. I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, you literally couldn't map out my career. It's, Remax Gold, Line, all the different places, things just happened. And
Yeah, yeah,
I was at Prudential, then the downturn hit,
mm,
and me and the president of Prudential uh, didn't get along too well. So
mm,
I left there. I was recruited by Remax Gold,
mm.
and Remax Gold was a good company. I learned a lot.
How long were you at Remax?
I think 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
I had four Remax Golds. I had Natomas, Davis, West Roseville, and Sacramento.
You was the
And
manager?
as a manager,
Oh,
and
wow.
as yourself,
Mhm.
whenever we were managers, I still sold,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you had to.
Um, yeah, no, absolutely.
Mhm.
And then at that time, towards the end of Remax Gold, um, Lion Real Estate had called me. And for the most part, I literally was just going to take the interview because I was with these companies, recruiting was
Mhm.
number one priority, right? That was
Yeah.
the objective.
Uh-huh.
And I did it well. I was number one at Remax Gold, I was number one at Lion. And so Lion called me, and I was just taking the interview just to learn more about my competition
Yeah.
until I interviewed JC Wallace, or I'm sorry, JC Wallace interviewed me.
Uh-huh.
She was a former police canine unit sergeant,
Uh-huh.
single lady that I highly respected. And I said, I'd like to work under this gal. And so she is the ultimate reason I moved to Lion Real Estate. I worked for Lion for 5 years
Wow.
up in West Roseville,
Mhm.
top producing recruiter until that same individual that was at Prudential came over to Lion, and that was the end of my career at
Oh my
Lion.
God. Oh my goodness. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow. Now you have now so what do you love about doing real estate?
Oh wow. I that's that's such a tough question. I mean, we talk about helping our clients, and it's so true. I mean, I I answer my phone. I mean, when my clients
He
call,
does.
text, email, it's something that it basically gives me anxiety if I don't get back to them. But I really love to serve. I love to serve and do the best job. I just want to kill it. So they just are so happy. I do that with my agents too.
Mhm.
So
He
real estate
does.
itself, yeah, I mean, so many individuals will say, yeah, do real estate so you have freedom. Well, once you are good in real estate, you have no freedom because your clients and your agents are just pulling you. But I love it. I mean, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
25 years, just about.
20. Oh, okay, you got two above me. Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm on, oh, wait a minute, it's June. Oh, I did hit 23 years in real estate
Oh,
already.
did you? See, my 25th is next April, so I'm just over the 24 mark.
Yeah, so yes, we've seen it all, you guys. Now, we're not going to discuss, but how the road just happened, but we're gonna go jump right on into you became a broker,
I
right?
did. Well, after Lion, I joined where I met you.
Uh-huh.
I joined Dean Adams with a, a former associate,
Mhm.
and basically grew that from 12 agents, one office, to about, I think we at one point we had 100 agents and two
Really?
offices. Yeah,
Wow.
and it was. I mean, if you were there, you were recruiting right along with me
Yeah, yeah,
at those people,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
It was fun. It was a good environment. I think we had a good time, and things as they do in life kind of
yeah.
went this way,
Mhm.
and I went elsewhere, and I was going to just get back into sales, and I literally, my mom, my sons, and I were on a in the car going up to Yuba City for a funeral, and the email went out that I'm no longer part of the company. And I literally my mom counted, I had 23 calls from agents saying, "Where are you going? We're coming with you." And I was thinking to myself, well, I'm just gonna start selling. And my mom said, you need to open your office.
Mhm.
And I did, but I didn't have my broker's license. So
Mhm.
I worked under her,
Yeah.
even though she was still the broker owner of Better Homes and Gardens. So we did that for a year until Better Homes and Gardens said, you can't be doing that.
Oh
And
my goodness, I
so
didn't know that. Okay.
yes, and so my mom said, "You need to get your broker's license." And it wasn't take your time. It was, you have till August because I have to pull my license. And
Mm.
so I did that, I think 4 years ago.
Wow. It's been 4 years?
Right? No, and I know exactly it's been 4 years because in October I have to do my renewal. I'm like,
Oh,
that's way too fast.
oh my God. So, okay, so you're a broker. How many agents do you have now?
I think we have about 65, about 65 on the MLS. We have a good handful of what we call referral agents,
Mhm.
because in my company, I don't charge anything for them to hang their license. So
Mhm.
I think total probably 10 to 15 referral agents. So a total maybe 75 to 80 agents, maybe.
And
But on
how many was
on
there in
the
the beginning? How many started with you?
Well, just a few. I mean, my buddy Dylan was the one who says, "Where are we going?" And so Dylan was the first,
You
and
mean it wasn't Johnny?
and Johnny was right behind him.
I know
Johnny
he's
was
always right
right.
behind. Johnny's always right behind.
Over I think a few weeks, we were already at like 23. The initial 23 that just came over,
Yeah, most of
and
the people I think all the people I recruited left with you.
yeah, no,
They
exactly. And
did. They really did.
the thing of it is, it's just I truly believe I've got this special group of agents that I mean, I'll pretty much, I just love working for. I mean, basically I work for them, because I just enjoy their phone calls, their questions,
Mhm.
and just how what it's kind of like watching your kids just excel when these agents are selling. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, and see, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you. What do you love about being a broker? But it's like, watching, especially like somebody who just got their license, and you take and okay, so let's keep it real. There's some.
Well, I will answer that question though, because I have a gal, Tanya. I think you know Tanya, and I love about being a broker. I love training.
Mhm,
I I love just informing and educating them once a month on what the market's doing. So
mhm,
because I'm going to every SAR meeting, I'm going to all these trainings, things that you and I know 90% of everything that's going to come out of their mouth, and then but it's that one nugget that maybe we forgot or something that we've learned that I can share with them. I just love doing that. And one of my agents, it's funny, her husband, he said, "What's his angle?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "He doesn't do this just for free." I mean, obviously, we're not doing it for free, but
mhm.
and then after a while, he slowly understood that it's just a passion I have giving back to these agents. I truly do. So that's the reason I do what I do, and what I think uh, the best part of being a broker is.
And I think that's what made us like in our former company, me and you, we gave a lot. And and I think you used to have me like when I went to SAR and stuff, I would give the updates, and the classes you went to, we gave so much value to the agents and we had no fees.
No, for
Remember,
sure. And you still do. I mean, I know you're coaching,
Mhm.
you're doing things like this just to get an understanding of our industry out there. And
Yeah.
all those little things just help and enable all these agents to better themselves and become better agents themselves.
And I think the reason why I'm like you, we answer our phone all the time, I mean, and everything. Because
We don't want to miss that deal.
well, that too, that too. But with the agents calling, helping agents, because we remember it was like to start when we first started.
Yeah,
Even though when we first started, we didn't have all. Y'all so lucky. I tell you, you real estate agents that's watching right now, you guys are so lucky.
oh,
You know what I mean? When me and Sterling started, I don't even know how we even wrote the down contracts, but we had Thomas guides. I don't even
right.
we got places.
There was no such thing as text. I mean, we did have a phone though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
floor
had.
time at the office. You had to actually go to the office and sit in floor
Yeah.
time and stuff. And our keys, we used to have the one time we used to have to charge our keys by plugging it into the telephone jack.
Yep, and if for some reason you had like a power outage, you grabbed that key and it wasn't updated, it's oh,
He wasn't showing no homes. So
yep. But
hey, yeah.
then again, it was a little bit. You had time to exhale because you didn't. I mean, because nowadays your clients know you're right in front of that phone,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's crazy. So we got Fatima watching. We got escrow officer Margaret Harris, watching. Yes, so
What's
thanks.
up, Fatima?
Yes, introduced. That was a great. She thanked me for introducing you guys. I caught it.
Yeah.
But so now what else I want to ask? There's so much I want to ask you. Now, you mentioned Hunter, but look, we can't forget about Tobias. Okay, so what was it like balancing, being man? Man, you was a manager most of your career while selling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you had two young boys and stuff that were very. Wasn't they active in sports and stuff too?
Oh, I mean, both of them were all year long. They were basketball, football, a little bit of baseball, but it was all year long. And both of them, I coached football and basketball pretty much year round. I even what I loved is I was able to coach Tobias at Intercom High School in high school. So I coached both of them, and I still coach. And really, it just goes back to people say, "Well, how do you do that business?" And it just goes to the time blocking. I mean, I don't want to get into what I do in business, all intricate stuff, but I mean,
Time blocking.
every part of my life is time blocked, so I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And in order to be able to coach and go to the game, go to practice, show property, and do this, you have to have a control of your calendar, but you also have to work hard. And some people say, well, life balance, but I I mean, I worked because I would go to practice, and then when practice was over at 6, I'd probably go show homes. Most people would go back home to dinner. I would go show homes, then you go to the office, you write the contract. And so it was, I just fit it all in. Hopefully I didn't neglect any part of my life too much. I mean, obviously at times, we're working more than we'd like, and so your at home life suffers a little bit, and vice versa.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't do it differently because I enjoyed going to every game. coaching those games, and it was awesome. And my two boys, Hunter is 8 years older than Tobias, so I got to kind of go up with him,
Mm.
and then start with the little crazy dude and go up with him.
Uh-huh.
So
Wow. So kind of like, Melody, you watched when you was a kid, you watched her do real estate and stuff. So the boys, they watched you. So did they get into real estate?
neither one. And I think Tobias will eventually. For Christmas 2 years ago, I bought him, the course, and his excuse was, I need to do it myself. I said, well, you are doing it yourself. He's like, no, I need to buy it myself. I'm like, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. But he's got the personality. I think eventually he will. Hunter, he spent after college, he spent 5 years in the real estate industry. He worked for Century 21.
Yeah, remember
He
that?
was their corporate social media guru guy.
Yeah.
And he was teaching these agents how to get leads. I'm like, why don't you just one, why aren't you doing it for me? And two,
That's I was
and
thinking.
two, it just gets your license, you could kill it. But then he, because he was a high school and college quarterback, so he then opened basically quarterback training, yeah, skills training, very similar to my wife, very very similar to my wife, and he's been doing that the last few years and does really really well. But next week he goes into the Sacramento Police Academy. So Hunter is going to be a police officer.
Oh, wow.
Is
Wow.
that crazy?
Wow. Yeah, I know he remembers
Yeah.
my face. Okay, this long he remembers my face and stuff.
No, I know. Hey, I
He
gotta
will.
watch it too.
Right. Right. We need him to be a CHP officer in case we get pulled over.
Right.
Wow. Okay. And what is Tobias? What is he like?
Tobias went to San Diego to school, had girlfriend and him broke up. His aunt said that he had to get an apartment, and at that same time, he was rear-ended and his car was totaled. So he's like, "Dad, I want to come home," and
Okay.
that was it. And so
Wow.
he basically has been working at like Oshima, Roosters, Falafel Corner,
Oh yeah.
doing the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Um, I hope he finds direction soon.
He
I mean,
will.
he has the personality, he's got the looks, he's such a likable guy, smart. He just needs to find his passion.
Yeah. And he will most,
No,
sometimes
he will. I
sometimes
love the kid.
there's always that one. There's always that one child.
Oh, and he is definitely that one.
Man. So
But you should, if I had the video, you should see him. I mean, he could still fly through the air, 360 dunks. I mean, he's still playing ball. Just
oh,
yeah, it's
wow.
pretty impressive.
So you coached Tobias, right? Like at Intercom, and you say you're still coaching, right?
Yeah, I coach for Destiny Christian High School,
Okay.
formerly Capital Christian. One of my good buddies, and you know him very well, is Devin George for the
Oh
Lakers.
yeah.
He played for the Lakers, won 3 championships. So I've been coaching his son since second grade. And
Oh
so
wow.
Deb and I have coached together. I've always been the head coach only because he travels so much. So he's my assistant, and we've just coached Logan for years. And last year he was a freshman. Well, I should say this year he just moved up to. He'll be a sophomore this year. But he was playing JV ball, so we moved up to JV. And so I think maybe this was the last year because I'll stay down at JV and Logan will move up to varsity. But yeah, so I still coach at Destiny Christian. It's fun. My wife, you saw her just a minute ago.
Yeah.
She was a baller. She played for
She's
the
still a
Monarch.
baller. She's still a
She coached the Sparks, and so it's just kind of innate in our family. And
uh-huh.
she asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday in July, and I said, well, let's go to the WNBA game in San Francisco and then stay the night. And she's like, "That's why I love you. You for your birthday, you want to go to a WNBA game."
Oh man, wow. Man, you just, yeah, you do. You guys see, he does so much. He still does so much. He hasn't slowed down at all. So,
No, I think one, you have to just keep going because you always hear about those individuals that retire, then a month later, that's it. I don't think unless I'm forced to retire, I'll do this. Like my mom's 79 and
yes.
she loves it. Her best friends are her agents that she goes to see at her office every day. So I just keep moving. We love to travel. Actually, Danielle goes to China on Sunday. She's going to China to coach the Nike All Asian team or Asia, whatever it is. But she's going to China on Sunday, and we used to have a goal that we traveled together once a month,
Mm,
and we went to Portland about 2 months ago and we said, "Wow, it seems like we haven't traveled together." And we looked in our calendar
mhm.
and we hadn't traveled together since December of 23.
Oh
So
wow.
sometimes you have to keep your goals in front of you because I thought we were doing what we normally do and it just slipped away. Now, don't get me wrong, she was in the WNBA, so I was going to the different cities
Mhm,
with her,
mhm.
but to actually travel together,
Yeah,
um, we let it slip. So we're back on track because
good,
she's
good,
back at
good,
home for good.
good. I want to ask you, why do you think your brokerage has grown so much? Like, why are agents calling you to come to you?
Because you. No, I'm
I
just
know.
kidding.
I am when I do refer people.
No, I think, and here's the deal. I don't pick up the phone and recruit like I used to.
Exactly.
Zero. It's all word of mouth. And the thing of it is, how it grows is through happy agents telling their friends, this is where you want to be. And by no means, I mean, I've turned people away just because I didn't think they were a good fit. I just really and love doing what we do. And we do some fun events. I mean, July 24th, we're
Yes.
doing our annual, it'll be our 5th annual Royal Real Estate Yacht Trip. So we rent the Hornblower yacht and we take all the agents and their spouses up and down the Sacramento River.
Mhm.
Just a good time. And our Christmas party, we rent out the full foundation bar and grill. Your buddy and my buddy, Lance Woods, the comedian, he
And
does the
I'm so
stand up.
sorry. I'm so sorry I brought him to our old office. Boy,
You
he just ain't
did.
never left. He ain't never left. Y'all done
And he's
sticking
blowing
like
up,
glue.
Alita.
I love him.
He's blowing up. He's doing so good.
But the one thing about Lance, he's still down to earth.
So much so.
Yeah, but if he tries to get big headed, I'll just call his mama Yolanda.
Yeah. And so, Lance does his thing. We have a great DJ, a full sit down dinner. I think last year we had 110 people.
Mhm.
And every quarter we do a producer's breakfast. So if you close a transaction,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
just go to the Black Bear Diner, excuse me, to the back room. And it's just informal. It's just, I want to give back. Thank you for closing a deal. Let's talk about real estate. And so we have these functions, but for the most part, the reason being is the agents, when someone says, "Where should I go?" they usually just say, "You need to come to our brokerage," because they're happy.
yeah. Now let me clear the air. Some of y'all people just be asking, and some people always thought that I was part of rural real estate.
Yeah.
I am part of rural real estate, but as a I don't know, as a kind of like a stepchild. Okay, so but I will with ever since me and Sterling, has been at that other company, we've been close. He knew the reason why I just didn't jump over there and everything. And you never
Yeah.
know. In the future, I maybe become part of rural real estate, but actually I
Yeah.
am rural real estate, you
And
know.
and and, and when I say Alita helps me recruit, what I mean by that is when someone when someone talks to Alita and says, you know, wow, where should I go? She'll give different
Yeah.
people or different brokerages information because you never want to tell one person go there because then if it doesn't work out, you know, wherever it may be, they're like, man, you told me to do this and it didn't work out for me. So
Well, I'm
I
gonna
think
say,
Alita probably gives multiple brokerages.
and I mean, you know, maybe no, no, I
Yeah,
don't give multiple, maybe one or two, you know what I mean?
there
But
you go.
it just depends what their needs are, you know, and if I feel like it's gonna be, you know, a good match too. So, but no,
Yeah,
but a lot of people kind of wonder why I never came over. I am part of rural real estate, but my license just isn't there. I'm still family, you know, and
yep,
everything. But eventually, you know, one day he may be my broker. It's just you never know what's to happen in the future. So
absolutely.
now let's get to the good part.
Yes.
How did you get how do you say W what?
WNBA?
Yeah. How did you get a WBA player? How did you smooth talk her? That's what I
Well,
want to know.
you know what's even more funny about this
Where's she at? Where's
question?
she at?
Danielle! It was all God because even she said the other day, she's like, you know, the reason it's not your look, Sterling. It's your personality and energy. I'm like, don't tell your husband that. That's not nice. Hey, man! Come here. Come here. Say hi.
Wait, wait, sit her
Hey, what's
down,
up,
sit her
guys?
down, y'all. Where's
I
the
just got out
chair?
of the shower.
Oh, did you?
We
Yeah.
we want to know. I want to know how did he smooth talk and get a date with you?
Oh, he didn't smooth talk. He chickened out a few times.
Did he?
He
What?
did.
Well,
What?
you remember
That-
Edna that played for the
Okay,
Monarchs?
so did Edna
She-
introduce you guys?
Yep.
And
Okay.
actually, I brought a date to one of the UFC fight parties that he had. And then he told Edna, he said, "What's she doing? What is he doing? What is she doing with him?" And then Edna said, "Do something about it," and he never did.
It took a while.
Took a while.
I finally, it was Ruthie's. You can see Ruthie.
Yeah,
Bolton
my girl
Holyfield.
Ruthie. Yes.
Yeah. So it was Ruthie's 50th birthday at Golden One Arena, and Edna brought me, you know, it's because she's a buddy of mine. And I saw her, Danielle, and I'm like, ooh, I got a crush on her. And Edna's like, do something. And it still took some time.
Edna
I
said, I
didn't
can
do
hear Edna say, oh my God, I can hear Edna saying it.
much.
Yeah. But
Man.
we went to a event and he opened the car door for everyone. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Kind of turned my head a little bit. So I told him, I said, it's not, like, it's not all looks. I mean, you
That's
might
what
be
he
good
just
looking, but it's
said.
not all looks.
See,
You
come
gotta,
on.
you gotta sustain. You gotta have good personality. You gotta have a sense of humor. You gotta love God.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
get something in
I
my
tell
throat.
Danielle all the time, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No. All my friends, they literally, and they're mostly not joking, but they'll say she saved my life.
Oh yeah, we all
I
know
mean,
that. We all know
because
that. Oh yeah, we
I was
all
a
know
little
that.
wild.
Yeah. We don't hear no more wild stories about Sterling anymore at the at the
No.
realtor
If you do,
parties.
let me know. If you do,
Yeah,
let me know.
and we ain't heard this in years, girl. Before you like, I remember one time I had to walk away from him. Remember, you was like, man, you was like, I went the other way.
I know it.
But no, we just, I had to bring you on. So I wanted to know how he smooth talk you,
Yeah.
got you and stuff. And it's been going on 7 years.
Well, 6 years was
Married.
married, and about 8 years, 8 years together.
Man, I've been on her for, oh my God, 8 years. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sis.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, get back to the
Love you
game.
guys.
All right.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right, that is, shout her name out. Who is she?
What's that?
Tell them your wife's name.
My wife's name is Danielle Viglione.
And who did she play for
She
before?
played back in the day. She played for the Sacramento Monarchs. She went to college, high school at Del Campo. She went to University of Texas. Then went to the Monarchs. And then played professionally 11 years. Had a Sacramento Skills Academy training, basketball training for 15, coached the Los Angeles Sparks the last 2 years, and back into her training business now.
Yeah,
So
man.
she's a member of the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame and all kinds of records. But
Yeah, look at her proud
I'm
husband.
proud of her.
So you guys have heard it. Is there anything that we left out about you that people should know?
I don't think so. My office is on Garden Highway. It's kind of fun. I just dumped my jet ski in. So I think I'm the only office, the only real estate office in probably Northern California that has a slip with a jet ski. So so agents can come in, do floor time, and take a boat ride.
What? Oh my God.
He's like,
You know,
what?
that's a good marketing thing, you know, for
Right?
clients and stuff. Man, that's
And it's a write off because you could show homes via the river. So
man, and that's $1 million homes, ain't it?
right? No, exactly.
Yeah,
So
he said exactly. He said exactly.
yeah, no, I just you and we've been in this industry for a long time. I mean, we both have seen the ups and downs. We've seen, when people come into the industry, so many different backgrounds could make it or not make it. And it just doesn't matter where you come from.
Mhm.
If you have that energy, that personality, that work ethic, you could do well in our industry. I mean,
Yeah, this
we
guy's
know
still
the people that do, and we've seen the people that don't.
Even though, some people's like, you work a full-time job? Yeah, until I meet my Boaz, or, and stuff. But, it's just, but I'm still selling real estate. I got
Yes,
3 listings, 2 in escrow, right now. And
nice.
it's just, it goes back to what you said, time, even though I'm bad at it still, but time blocking. I try to write stuff down, but time blocking and, just getting out there and doing stuff. And I don't know if I'm pretty sure I'm still coaching the same way, like when we was at our former company, is,
Right.
I tell people, don't be a secret agent. Get
Nope.
the shirts that, don't get a company shirt. Get the ones that say, I'm a real estate agent. As you got to market yourself and everything. So I think that's
And
what, that's what I do. If I know I'm going to the mall or somewhere, or if, a family function is something, I'll put on a shirt. Look, everybody wants us to buy their damn kids birthday presents and stuff. Like, you can better start referring to deals, right?
no, for sure.
So
Exactly. And the thing of it is, it the market, we understand the last year and this year, the market's down. And so people that normally, even if you did X amount of deals 5 years ago, and they say, well, I'm doing the same thing. Well, if you're doing the same thing, you're probably selling 1/3 less than you've ever sold, because it takes 3 times as much prospecting right now to get the same amount of deals that you did 5 years ago. So, I mean,
because of
and
the
don't get me
internet.
wrong, right? And the market's going to shift back. I mean, as soon as we get some rate cuts, it's going to be an onslaught of buyers. It's going to be crazy. But
Yeah.
right now, we're still hustling. I mean, I think I have 5 listings, and the listings right now are difficult because every Monday I have to do my update and say, how the market is, why their house hasn't sold.
But
And
did you just go pending?
I went pending on Hamilton. It's a small condo. I have a Meritage, is a new home build coming to the Panhandle, but I sold one that closes Thursday,
Mm.
and they offer 3%. So that was a good
Oh,
one,
that
a
was a
new
good
home
one.
build.
Oh man, that over 3. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I got another one in escrow up in Orville. And
Oh,
so,
wow. See, yeah, see, we're going out further. Now, before I let you go, I do have to, bring this up. How did you meet Ted Capel?
oh my gosh. Well, how I met Ted was my best friend in high school and college was his name's Tack. His younger brother was best friends with Ted. Ted was a few years younger at Sac State,
Mhm.
and I mean, believe it or not, I was that guy. I was pretty wild, and I got in some when I go out, I used to like to box, and let me put it that way. Well, Ted was a wrestler, and so these guys over here and these guys over here say, "Oh, these guys, you don't want to mess with them." And so we knew of each other's names, but when we met, it was all good, and we were very very similar, and we've been best buddies since. And that was probably in '94, maybe '93. No, no, 1994. So we've been friends, and obviously he's my
Yeah, 30
in-house
31
he's
years.
my in-house lender, and yeah, I love him.
I'm gonna give shout out to Ted Capel and his lovely wife, Jennifer, right? Jennifer. Yeah. Yeah, she's an
Jennifer
Aries
Campbell.
like
Yep,
me. She's an Aries like me. That's my girl.
yeah,
They are, I mean, what is it? Capel Mortgage, they do, a great job and everything.
yep.
But they're just great people. Great, Ted, he's a man. I don't think I never had a bad moment with Ted. It's always fun.
No, he's fun, smart guy. Has been doing business for. I mean, at one time, Ted had 65 loan officers. Is that crazy?
Oh my God.
That's a big company. I mean, obviously that's back in the day, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but no, yeah, yeah. So shout out to Ted Capel. So Ted, you can't say that I never shouted you out. So
Exactly.
all right. Once again, anything else you like people to know? How do people reach you? Give out your handles, your
Yeah,
Facebook, IG,
it's
all that.
our company website is royalrealestate.company. My telephone number is 916-296-0421. We are located next to Roosters on the river. That's Chevy's and Crawdads right there. Email sterlingroyal@gmail, and I'm on Facebook quite a bit. Not as much as Alita, but but yeah, I mean, just that's it. I mean, if anybody ever wants to chat about the industry, if you're looking to get into the industry, if you need some assistance, call me. I'll schedule an appointment with you, hang out, and tell you what I know.
All right. I appreciate you so much. This is great. Yeah,
No,
this
I
is great.
appreciate you, Alita. You're doing big things. I
I'm
love it.
I'm trying. All right.
Yes.
All right. This will be uploaded on YouTube. Well, Facebook is deleting videos after a certain amount of time, but this will be uploaded on YouTube
Okay.
actually tonight. So you guys go to sessions, with Alita, and you can catch all the interviews I have done, including this great interview with Sterling Royal of Royal Real Estate. All right. Thank you. You liked it, Margaret? Margaret's like, she's giving a
Yeah.
So okay,
Awesome.
okay, Margaret, we're gonna use you as an escrow officer. Not, okay, you don't
There
have
we go.
to. All right, Sterling, you tell Danielle I said good night, and I will see you soon. I will see you on
I
the
will.
next month.
Yeah, on the 24th. All right,
Okay.
guys.
All right.
Thanks,
See you.
Alita.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye bye.